Hello, hello, hello. Not exactly an auspicious start to the morning. I had to go pick up my bicycle after breaking a spoke last week. So I ended up starting this an hour late. Oh well. Um, Sometimes life gets in the way of things, but uh, luckily there's a lot to play because I have a new game this week. WEGO Stalingrad, and quickly review some stuff from last week because I did end up finding the Vassal module for inflection points. So I have that downloaded now. I haven't opened it yet, but I probably will at some point. But I'll open it live on stream. How's that? See what it looks like. There's a fair amount of scenarios available on the Vassal already. I don't know how many scenarios the game actually has, but let's open up Battle for Kalach and see what it looks like. All right. Oh, I got to check one more thing here. Hold on a second. Yeah, I have the wrong title up from last week. It should be Stalingrad Sunday. I do not know how to use the preview feature so that I can change something off screen. I should really look that up. But hopefully everyone's doing okay if you're watching this well after the fact, I assume. The only other thing I wanted to see is if anyone wanted to chat in the early phase here. Let's see anyone available, so I'm going to plow ahead and see what that gets us. All right, so I am going to be in the voice channel. If you come in and talk, you will be heard, so be advised. The other thing I'm going to do is make sure we have a way to hear you. That's probably good. But if you have a really quiet microphone, make sure you turn it all the way up. It's going to be annoying if you come in and your microphone sucks. So don't talk if you don't have a good microphone, because I'm not going to edit this, unfortunately. I do actually have 6 videos of Rule the Waves already filmed from yesterday, so I have to edit those. Hello, Rob F. Are you from IKS or are you from YouTube? Just random. All right, I think I have it working now. Oh, there we go. Let me just double check my mute button works. It does. Oh, perfect, YouTube. I only ask because I put an event out on the International Kriegsspiel Society's Discord page, and I was literally an hour late for the start time. So if you were from the IKS, I was going to apologize. All right, so what we did last week was basically fussed around looking at some new games that were on the horizon, and one of the ones that we talked about was this one, which is Inflection Point. And this is a BCS game. So it's the newest BCS game, and it's Inflection Point. And it's basically the advanced to Stalingrad. So you can see here there's the Don River, and historically the 6th Army, I think, mostly comes north of Kalach. And right here in this scenario, it looks like, I mean, these are all Soviets. I'm trying to find where the Germans are. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any Germans on the map. So maybe everyone has to enter the map? That'd be unusual. Or they all have to come from the north. It's very interesting. This is the first time I'm opening this up. I just found it last week after talking about it on screen. So they do have quite a few divisions. So I don't know where they are. Maybe they get to set up wherever they want. I'm not sure. Weird. Yeah, so I mean, the interesting thing is how dispersed the Soviets are. Like, they're spread out everywhere. It's very interesting. I just want to make sure they didn't do something silly like make the Germans orange. No, it's definitely a Guards Rifle Division. 33 guards. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this is a scenario maybe where you get to place all of the German units. I just think that's relatively unusual, even in BCS, which is a already relatively unusual system. Yeah, these are definitely all Soviets. It could also very well be that the module's not finished setup. Like, it doesn't finish all the setup for you on purpose, because there's like optional deployments. Entry area A. No, these are all reinforcements. Wow, that's interesting. I've never seen that before in a BCS game where everything comes in off map in the scenario. That's cool though. That's cool. I like it. It's kind of Kriegsspiel-y. Yeah, that's very interesting. Huh. They don't come in with, I mean, they come in with a panzer division. They don't come in with a lot of troops, though. Just one division. I guess this is kind of simulating the spearhead. So day one, they get most of their units. That makes sense. But they get to choose. I wonder if you can choose to delay. You get them on any map edge. All right, so where's the other entry points? There's GF. Okay, so they are pretty spread out too. All over the place. But here's A. And then Stalingrad is way over here. It's off the road to the right here. It's not displayed on this map, but it would be, I want to say, like, of these hexes, probably another 45, 50 hexes to the right. So not very far, because this is a pretty low scale map. It's not like as big as OCS. I think this is maybe 1 mile hexes. Not sure. Like I said, I haven't really dove into this particular game yet. I have played BCS before, though, and I think anyone who's played BCS, they could tell you that It is an unconventional system compared to a lot of others. So it does take some getting used to. But if you've never played a war game, it's actually kind of a good place to start because you're not, you don't have any preconceived notions. So if I were recommending learning wargaming, I would actually consider recommending a BCS game, but they are pretty heavy, so maybe that takes it down. But if it's someone who's looking for like monster game and they really want detail, they want simulation, I actually think BCS is a good starting place because there's not a lot out there that's like it. Not anything out there that's like it. Alright. I'm going to go back to the main screen here. And let's see what I want to talk about here. It's definitely a lot harder doing these things live than it is when you can edit everything out. All your screw-ups. Alright, the main topic of today was going to be the WEGO World War II Stalingrad game. So I'm going to fire that up and see what it takes to set it up. Oh, and it's coming through my speakers. Amazing. There we go. Well, it certainly has very loud sound. I'm sure completely not copyrighted music too. Nothing that YouTube would block you for. Actually, YouTube's not that bad about blocking people. It just demonetizes, and I'm not monetized, so it really doesn't impact me at all. But I do think it also like not deplatforms. I don't know what the word for it is, but like makes you less likely to see your videos. Very exciting music, though. Oh, okay. So to do program and preview in this, you have to do full screen or windowed projector. Oh, okay. Well, how are you supposed to do that if when you click on it, it switches over? That's very annoying. Sorry, I'm just an absolute noob at OBS. All I've ever used it for is recording, so using it for anything live is a bit of a struggle. Well, it probably gives us worse resolution, but here it is. WEGO World War II Stalingrad. Hopefully it's easy to learn. Let's take a look at the manual, maybe. Alright, the most important thing I want to learn is, what do I do? Sequence of play. So I think it's kind of similar to like AGOD games where you kind of put in your orders and then they do whatever they want, basically. Which is one of the cool parts of the AGOD games is that feature. Ooh, wait, we have designer's notes. The moral is to the physical as 3 is to 1. Napoleon. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting quote. If we can put our trust in Bonaparte for a moment, the physical, measurable aspects of combat are the smallest fraction of actual combat potential. Hold on, I gotta turn the music off. It's very loud still. Alright. Even the lowest volume setting is kind of loud. Anyway, the physical is 1/4 of the whole. The moral factor, combined with the subjective numerical assignment of quality to intangibles like leadership, training for the individual soldier level through the squad, gun, tank crew, platoon, company, battalion, regiment, brigade units, and on to staffs at division, corps, and army levels, semicolon, holy cow, did anybody edit this? To tables of organization and changes to them during the war, another comma, and to the... Is there ever a full stop? What is the sentence? And to the evolutionary aspects of doctrine. Okay, now we're talking about doctrine, tactics, techniques, and procedures, and material, another and. Okay, I think you could put a full stop like, I don't know, here? At the first comma? This is like 10 sentences. I don't know who wrote this, and I'm sorry I'm ripping on you, but this is a paragraph. This is not a sentence. There's a literal change of topic twice within the sentence. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll finish it. Where were we? Tactics, techniques, doctrine. The doctrine part of this, the sentence. Doctrine, tactics, techniques, and procedures, and materiel, combat experience, morale, and most important of all, finally, the people, their belief or lack thereof in the cause for fighting, their ideas, another comma, their ideas of manhood, their standards of behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do. Finally, a full stop after literally 5 sentences, and probably a change of paragraph. All of these things, there's a lot there, so I hope it's all. All of these things and more bear heavily on the outcomes of the battlefield. Bear more heavily on the outcomes of the battlefield than the calculus of the weight of a shell plus the number of soldiers in a squad divided by the climb rate of an aircraft. We are cautious about finding too much comfort in merely number crunching and the objective components of combat. Okay. So it means that they probably buffed the Germans. And I think that's the hard thing about designing a World War II game where the Germans are involved, is because they perform so much better than you would expect given just material components, especially in Barbarossa itself. But I think there's really only the way to solve it is the way that War in East solves it, is to give them a bonus in the first turn, and then level the playing field after that, but make the Soviets have to deal with more problems rather than adding stats to the Germans, which admittedly even in War in the East they have ridiculous stats. Rather than adding more stats to the Germans, I think a better approach is to add more layers of challenge to the Soviets. And that's the way it feels fun to play the Soviets. When you're playing Soviets in a East Front game, and the game is just designed to make you lose, like the enemy stats are like 4 times yours, it's not necessarily the most fun thing. I think like you failing to deal with the organizational problems is a much more fun way to lose. Deriving accurate attack, defense, and movement factors that are decimal perfect that we hope will reflect the realities of battlefield is in the end a very subjective approach to the problem. And only a quarter of it, the physical. Without access to relevant historical data, foxhole reports of day-to-day strengths of present for duty soldiers, mission-capable guns, tanks, aircraft, generators, wireless sets, machine guns, mortars, trucks, trailers, mechanical toolboxes with a set of 3 cross tips and a 1/4-inch spanner, first aid pouches, petrol, they really like the commas, petrol, oil, lubricants, replacement parts, etc. We don't have to, I don't think you need an etc. You've listed everything. we don't have to have all the relevant numbers, nor will we ever. So let's go for about right and be done with it. Okay, so they're saying that it doesn't really matter what the equipment and all that stuff is if you have stats that are representative of the non-material factors of the system. Our goal in the WEGO World War II series is to use a narrow set of subjectively selected numbers to achieve something that is about right, somewhere in the neighborhood of correct. Yes, we will use numbers, decimal perfect, to get into that neighborhood. Will they be good numbers? Well, if they feel about right to the player during gameplay, then we have achieved our goal. The numbers are good enough. The people who will play this game come to it with some knowledge about the war in the East in World War II. Or not at all. It needs to be fun for all the many and acceptable to those with deep knowledge on the subject, the few of the subject. So I guess that counts all of the people who watch my YouTube videos as the few, the proud, the Marines. And so if we make a mistake, well, the game editor is very powerful and will allow others to pursue different paths of their versions of what is about right. That's a square deal. And that is possibly the worst designer notes I have ever read. He didn't even sign it. So I'm sorry. that one's a rough one. Let's see, who is the designer? Brian Kelly, I assume. Brian, sign your designer notes. Put your name on them, and then maybe edit them before you release them. I'm sorry, it's a little thing, but you can edit it. All right. More importantly, let's play his game. I guess we do a new AI game. The font in this is very very historical. It's like Arial font or something. All right, so there's scenarios. There's the campaign. Do we just start the campaign, maybe? I don't know where it starts. Oh, okay, so it has dates on here. July 23rd. That's not Stalingrad. That's like Kharkov. On July 23rd, the Axis launched Operation Heron. The purpose of this offensive was outlined in OKW Directive 45. The task of Army Group B, aka 6th Army, is to develop the Don defenses and by a thrust forward to Stalingrad to smash the enemy forces concentrated there, to occupy the town and block the land communications between the Don and the Volga, as well as the Don itself. This campaigning, spelled campaign wrong. Not off to a good start here with the editing. This campaign, I assume, covers the first 3 days of this operation. Is there not like a grand campaign? Am I stupid here? 39 turns as opposed to 4 scenarios. I'm very confused. What if I choose the Soviets? Oh, it doesn't change the scenario at all. Okay. AI dead return. Well, why wouldn't they? Fog of War on. Let's just do this. I'm not going to overthink it. Alright, they spelled it right here. This campaign game consists of 4 scenarios that cover the advance of the German Sixth Army towards Stalingrad between 23rd July and 9 September 1942. It's Sixth Army strikes, Gordov's counterstroke, Tank Army's advance. Scenario 3 is the morning road leads to Stalingrad, and 4 is the Guards will attack. But they left the mistake in here, so it's just a copy paste of the other one. Oh well. Alright, so I don't know if this is the entire map, like the actual game map, but if so, it looks pretty nice. At least from far away. Yeah, very interesting. It looks like the river here is basically a full hex, as it should be. This scenario was John Duquette from, I don't know why he has BC Games in there, but so John, I assume, is responsible for that spelling mistake. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Okay. Now this game, I am struggling to figure out exactly when it came out, but it's not new. It's just new to Steam. So I did see some other people playing it. It's just new to Steam. Sixth Army strikes. Okay, so I think this is all the same. Weather's good. Moonlight supports night air and logistics. Good. 62 fuel, 65 ammo, 2 personnel. I guess that's replacements. 3 equipment replacements. And then per turn we get 6 fuel, 7 ammo, 2 personnel, 3 equipment. And 25% variable. Oh, I guess that means you could get anywhere from 6 to like 3. 2. Oh yeah, this is a nice map. Wow, this is a really nice map. When you zoom all the way in, it gets a little pixelated, but at this zoom level, it's beautiful. Do you get the whole thing in this area? No. So that is cool. This is a nice map. I don't love this orange color, but the rest of the map is nice. I actually really like the gray to the green here. That's really pretty. Alright, time to figure out what's going on. So setup. So we're in the setup phase. I mean, I assume it's as simple as wanting to go forward. What is that sound? It never stops? Oh, that's horrible. Oh, God. What's the infantry sound like? Just smashing. Alright, how do we turn the sound completely off? Because the sound in this game is like a 0. Which is a shame. I wanted to hear what the combat noises were, but I don't actually. Orange is for setup. Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say that orange is really jarring. But that makes sense. That makes sense. Alright, I'm just going to go top to bottom. So the top button is like a report button. It's kind of like a commander's report kind of thing. Reinforcements. We're eventually getting quite a bit of stuff. Looks like another core comes in at some point. Withdrawals, surprise. So there's like cards or something, I think. Let's see, hex contents overview. I think we should probably leave that on. I mean, why not just turn all this stuff on? Ooh, hotkeys, that's probably important. Assign ground attacks, artillery, assign command actions and airstrikes, show chain of commands. Wait a second, what does that do? Oh, I like that. I like that it shows, so when you hover over a unit, it doesn't just show, oh, okay, now it went away. I did like that when you zoom in. Oh, you have to be at this zoom level. Okay, when you're at this zoom level, when you mouse over a unit, it shows their name. I like that. I like that a lot. I wish more games did that, like automatically showed a name on a hover. It would be nice to have it on a little bit of a delay, though, not instant. So like you hover, and then a second later it goes to show the name. So like you're not just accidentally triggering it constantly. Because like here, if you just move your mouse around, it's like flickering it. But if you set it so that it would be like a 1 second delay upon, or even a half second delay, just 500 millisecond delay, I think would do it. But I like that feature. That's nice. So what's the furthest zoom you could see it at? Like here. All right, that's cool. All right, so I assume there's certain units that we can like bring in. I'm struggling here figuring out who I need to move. Is there like an unmoved units button? Let's see. Alt move plus drag. Okay, I think whatever I'm doing there, I probably need to stop. I don't like how big this is when it comes up. Ooh, terrain effects chart. Always like to read that. Alright, so like probably the most common things we're going to encounter are light woods, no shock in battles, no overruns. Armor is 50% effective, infantry and cavalry are 125% effective. Versus like the open terrain where everything's 100%. Rolling steppe, everything's 110%. Is it ever a situation where the armor is more than 100%? Rough. Everyone gets good defense there. So I guess they're modeling it more. It's not like modeled on type. It's more that the whole division or whatever gets the same effects. So I can't move these guys. Is there anyone I can move? And if I can, how? Close unit move panel. What does this do? Are there like different settings of, okay, order, withdraw, hold at all costs? Interesting. Oh, there we go. Good. Oh, so we just want everything up on the front lines, right? If we can. I mean, maybe there's some bad guys up here I have to worry about. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. But I don't see a reason why I wouldn't want to have everything up on the front line at least. I doubt this is going to be threatened on the top left. Yeah, without having played the scenario, I can't even know. Like, I have no idea how many bad guys there's going to be in the different places. Are there like depots that I'm screwing up? I didn't even think about that. I'm probably screwing up the starting depots. Like this thing has probably got a depot or something in it. Let's see if there's a way to tell if there's a depot. There's a lot of buttons and nothing is labeled. It's kind of like everything is on mouse over. Like all these buttons here, there's so much space. There's so much like blank space that they could have put in the words of what they are. Like there's just huge gaps here. Why not just put the words? Like the star. What does the star mean? Show HQ buttons. Well, why not just put next to it show HQ buttons? There's plenty of space for even pretty big font. Supply. I guess supply is kind of abstracted, so there's probably not depots. Oh, geez. I got to worry about supply, though, for allocation. I think in a scenario like this, you don't worry about supply at all. I think you just go. So am I supposed to clear the whole Don Bend in this scenario? That's seems like it's going to be a lot. I probably don't want my anti-tank guy on the front line. I probably do want my motorized guys up front, though. Our Nebelwerfers. I wonder if there's like traffic effects too. No, I want him up there. I mean, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't just place everyone further up. Right? I mean, it can't possibly be hurting anything. I've got some guys to hold the flank. It's under the stack here. Oh, infantry. That's what I need. Get them past that line. Probably get one over there. Although, it's probably fine. Where's their oh, wow. This is really spread out command. 113th Infantry Division. Well, let's move them up here. And we'll have them do the advance, like, kind of in this direction with an eye towards taking like this bridge here, one of these two bridges. It's kind of their early objective. And then pink, they could be focused on getting whatever bridge south of that is necessary. And they're actually already up on the front line, so I'm okay with them. I just want to make sure that these guys are kind of in contact with each other. They don't have to be like perfectly in contact, but okay, this guy's got a lot of artillery with him. Maybe I want the infantry further down, actually. Can have a motorized unit on the flank. Alright, what division is this? 16th Panzer? Yeah. They could probably cover a pretty wide area. Yeah, further forward is good. Supply pulls from the board edge. That's a good call there. That's kind of what I thought. I was like, yeah, it's probably not super complicated given the number of supply points. Usually you can kind of tell complexity based on how many supply points there's going to be. And if there's a gazillion of them, you know that it's going to be somewhat complex. If there's less, then that's usually a good sign. I think putting them here makes sense. I don't know what this outline here, this yellow outline means. Does that mean that's a victory hex or something? I'll have to figure that out. I mean, I don't want these guys trapped behind that river. It's a little finicky moving guys forward. Alright, these guys have a lot of marching to do early on. This division here, which is the... Oh, that's a corps. Where's the division? 297th. Yeah, so we're going to bring all of them as forward as we can get them because they have a ton of marching to do. Because they're going to have to get all the way up here somewhere. And I think everything else here we don't have to worry about. I mean, I don't really care a ton about making sure the anti-tank guns are forward. But I'll move them forward just in case. I think this is as good as I can get it. There's a little bit of a gap here, which is probably not good, but I have a lot of reinforcements coming in. I could just put an engineer up there. I don't know. I probably should put at least one unit up there. I don't really have a lot of units, though. I didn't mean to move him. That's going to be hard to get used to, having to deselect after clicking on guy. Because I'm used to just clicking just to look at him. But then you have to deselect. Is there a hotkey to deselect? Oh, maybe it's the letter X? No. Oh, toggle move mode. Wonder if there's a hotkey for that. Ooh, so it shows supply levels. Hold on. Oh, never mind. Doesn't do anything yet. What's L do? Oh, L is lines of communication. Okay, so this guy doesn't like being that far away, so we'll move him a little closer, I guess. Just trying to find all the hotkeys. Oh, they have an undo command. That's good. But putting it on not Control Z always is going to throw people. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. Unused ground, air, naval assets. I don't think I know where the bad guys are, so I don't want to use any air points yet. Okay, so now we're in the planning phase. And now maybe we can do some air missions. Well, we probably don't need them. Ooh, that's a guards unit. Maybe we hit him. So we got recon, ground attack, and transport. Recon might be good. Because we probably want to know what's at this hex here. I don't know, we might not make it that far this turn. Maybe we'll just recon this frontal area. And then with this other guy, we can recon this area here. And then if these guys run into anything, I'm sorry, but we only have 2 recon. I probably shouldn't waste them even, but it's good to get off on the right foot. Alright, so we got Ju-87D3s, Ju-87Bs, Ju-88D6s. These are ground attack BF-110E2s, Ju-88s, BF-109F. Counter air. Interesting. So it tells you if it's fighter, fighter bomber, DB. I wonder what DB is standing for. Dive bomber. Huh. So when I click them, they change types. Well, I think these guys, the BF-109s, certainly we want on counter air. Can't imagine wanting to use them for anything else. Oh, we'll fly 2 of them. We'll let one rest. And then maybe this guy, we can hit this thing. It's weird that it's cut off like that. Oh well. Alright, so that means we'll let the bomber do its thing. Oh, you can also assign them to just guard a unit. That's a good idea. Okay, we'll guard our spearhead unit maybe. We could do that with this guy too. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing, so it's going to be hard. All right, so our different move orders. Move and defend. This is, I assume, road movement. And this is move and attack. So mostly we're going to be doing move and attack on the early turns. Is there a way to turn off the victory point things? Doesn't seem to be. Oh well. I can't tell if that means there's a bad guy there or not. But let's just move forward a bit. Well, I'm thinking of this in like a standard hex encounter game. But it's really not. So like I'm trying to order him around this guy. But I don't even know if that's going to work. Because I kind of want to get to this hex here. The controls are going to take some getting used to. Definitely want to go there. I mean, we can't really cross this river, so I don't think that... Well, I don't think you can cross it anyway. I don't think it's a big deal if we leave it completely undefended. Where's the nearest bridge to it? Way the hell back here. So it's not really in danger over there. I could check just to make sure. But I think in retrospect I would have deployed these blue guys further south. Because now they're going to have to march all the way down there. Which is going to be a bit of a pain. What can you do? Probably want to change this order to be road movement. And we're just trying to get all these guys. Can I just do the whole stack? Please? No. Illegal. Verboten. Hello? Oh, okay, that one moved the whole stack. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just trying to get through the moving guys forward thing. How do I just move the screen down? Okay. Gotta use arrow keys. Oh, maybe if you kind of like click on the bottom unit, moves the whole thing. Nope. Okay, are these guys locked? They might be locked. Some of them are not locked. Security unit seems to be locked. Can I? No. So this is like the army level units. But I want to get them forward too, realistically. Just want everything moving. Okay, there are bad guys there, but we're going to go around them. Okay, now those two are going to go around with road movement, hopefully not encountering anyone. Deselect this. Why did this get grayed out now? I don't know. What does this do? Right click on unit button for more information. This unit can shift attacking and defending odds by one column, similar to air units, but not subject to AA. This asset can only assist units in the 7th AK or 8th AK. I don't know what AK stands for. Army Corps. 8th Army Corps. Armor stack should be able to overrun lone infantry in the open steppes. Engineer units can build bridges. Oh, okay. So I gotta worry about the bad guys building bridges, maybe. Very useful. Thanks, Jim. I don't know if I even care about over here, though. I mean, it's not that useful if I had a bridge over this. I still wouldn't want to be up there. Because my mission's, I assume, to clear the Don Bend. So I don't really need to cross the Don. I just need to kill everything in here. Alright, exit this. I don't know where my main effort's going to be yet. I assume I can save that for the next turn. I don't know. I didn't even consider my lines of communication earlier, but now I should. I wish I had been able to put this guy on the other side of the river earlier, but I couldn't. Alright, you gonna move up here. Move up here. Oh, now it's letting me change this again. Excellent. I guess I could have been hitting the hotkey. Maybe that would have worked. Alright. What is this unit? A Stug? Put him here. What I don't want to happen is for the infantry to get left behind. I think it's a little awkward not knowing what these ranges are. Like, so is 8 its command range? If so, then I have some of these brigades I have to move up to. And I assume that's the situation. So why wouldn't they? What is this? This is the Panzer Corps commander. Move them up at least to the crossroads. But definitely you need your brigade commanders on the front lines. I mean, that would be very unusual if you didn't need to do that. Put him here. I do really want to secure this road. So I'll have a panzer unit do that, a panzer battalion. And the rest of this, just basically move it up. Hopefully everything's still in range after all is said and done. What does this guy do? Oh, F is to select all units in the hex. Okay, hold on. So if I do F, Yeah, there you go. I should read the tooltips. These guys are kind of spread out now. Yikes. I guess we'll move them up onto this flank then. I don't really know what the Soviets are going to do here. This would probably be easier if I was playing Soviets, because I would actually know what to do. I know so little about the German side. Alright, who have I not moved yet? I don't think I've moved 16th Panzer. If I could zoom in on them. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, I haven't moved these guys yet. So, I'm thinking we use these guys here. To blast right through that. They'll be my armored spearhead. And then the other guys can go on their flank to the south. So eventually we're going to have these infantry coming up the road, hopefully catching up before we get to our eventual objective of this bridge here. But that's kind of where we're going. We want to get this road and follow it to that bridge, or these bridges, I should say. That way we have everyone on both sides. I want to be somewhat efficient here. Keep them off-road. It's so hard to know how they're going to sequence. That's the weird thing. Like, I don't know if they're going to sequence properly. I guess I just have to have faith that my German command will figure things out. Yeah. Oh, wow. These guys are slow. Okay, that's actually dangerous. Undo units orders. Put them here instead. Put the core there as well. Yeah, these guys are going to take a year and a day to get to the front. Oh my god. Slow infantry. Security guys are locked, I think. That's a shame. I would have put them up on this river line here. Well, I don't know if I did that right. I assume I want to do the command actions too. I don't want to save those. Oh, there's a CRT. So there's different battle types. That's cool. That's very cool. I like that a lot. Yeah. Very low, low, medium, extreme. Wonder what the difference is here. Just losses. So if you can get into very extreme combat and have 10 to 1 odds, you can kill 90% of a unit. That's insane. Wow. In a single turn. That's insane. Yeah, I believe that there's unused stuff. I don't know how to access all of it, so we'll find out. Please wait. Waiting. All right. Did things go good or did they go bad? Well, I think they went pretty good. It looks like we took all of our objectives. I don't see any problems here. The bad guys don't have any engineers either, so... Oh, okay. It plays. I'm a goofball. Oh, there's stuff. So it does the bombardments first. It's so hard to know if I'm doing it, if I did things even close to right. Okay, so they attacked that, drove them back into that hex. This is like high intensity. So that must have damaged them a lot, I assume. Another high intensity with 2 to 1 odds. I mean, what is an infantry battalion supposed to do against a panzer corps coming towards it? That's good. That's exactly what I wanted. This area to get attacked. A lot more combat than I was expecting. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I guess I was expecting to have the recon. It's weird that everything goes second, but you still have recon. Like, what's the point of the recon at that? Recon doesn't tell you where the bad guys are. Or maybe I'm getting more information about the battles because I had recon. I'm not sure. I have to figure out what recon actually does. If it was a waste to use it. Like, is it very powerful for combat or something? All right. Proceed to the next phase, yeah. Say we want to do that. So we're on turn 2 out of 14. And hold on a second. I think my second screen that I was using to look at the comments just died. And I need to get coffee anyway, so I'll take a 2-minute break. Let's toggle back to the screen for a second here. I'm just going to say break for 2 minutes while I fix up the chats. Oh, okay. Jim said recon are good for intel and screens. In the end, you can rewind and step through. Okay. That's really useful. Um, I think it definitely reminds me a lot of the AG games. Like the only one I really liked out of those was I really liked the Civil War one, Civil War Two. That was a great game. I played a fair amount of the 7 Years War one as well, which was not as good, but 'cause it just didn't work. But the worst one was definitely the World War one. I didn't like that one that much, but the other ones, the my favorite one of all time, any of the AGOD, was definitely the American Civil War 2 or whatever it was called. That was just such a great game. It had everything. It had the Navy. It had these crazy calculations for seniority for your commanders. And I just felt like it really represented the war well. I've played it from both sides multiple times. And it was just such a good game. It's a shame that never that didn't take off like some of the other games did. But so I'm gonna try to go find another laptop or something that I can use to watch the comments. I just don't know how to set it up so that the comments are visible to me. I guess I just need another monitor. That would be a pain. But what I was trying to do is be able to see the comments while I'm going, because Jim, you're giving really good advice. It's a good game though. I like it. All right. Honestly, I don't know why I'm bothering to wear the headphones, except they reduce the ringing in my ears a little bit. But the sound design in this game is not the best. Finally have coffee though, so I might survive. All right. This game has a steep learning curve with the interface. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, the interface it feels just, especially with the sound off, it feels not responsive. And I don't know. I think some people would be really turned off by that. But it does remind me of how the AGOD interface felt. Like you just had to be kind of careful, making sure that you weren't, that was more of a drag and drop interface. This is definitely a click, 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 like left click, very left click heavy. So I'm not sure if that's really a problem once you get used to it. But But I think the sound design probably gives you a little bit of feedback on when you have something selected. Yeah, I think it's a really cool, like, a game like this is really probably meant to be played multiplayer, to be fair. And so I think the way that the AI works is really important, because the like just getting that a little bit of chaos happening is, it kind of makes it fun. The other thing I got to get used to is just it's battalion scale, so you got to think like what can a battalion do in these kind of battles versus what the whole division is doing. I usually play like regimental scale is kind of my favorite. All right, we're gonna move up the division up to the forest. I don't know if there's any penalties for putting your division in a woods hex, but I want them further up. And then I think the Corps is going to go there as well. In this turn, we're definitely going to have to pop this guy. And they're really trying to hold this road. I think we could just try to push for Orakov. So we'll hit them with the recon, like right behind that. And then we'll hit this guy here because it's a stack of 2. So it might do a little bit better. And then maybe we'll use another point to clear this crossroads. I feel like we need this crossroads desperately. Down here, the situation is basically that there's a guards division. So we got to blow them up. And then in the far south, we haven't really made contact with the enemy yet. So, all right, let's keep going south. Is this a bicycle unit? It says they're a recon battalion. I recently got very into bicycle units because I like cycling. Like I watch like the Giro d'Italia and Tour de France and all those races. I like watching cycling and I like riding a little bit, but combat cycling is so interesting. And I've been looking for a great history on like a unit, a cycling unit of the Germans. So maybe I'll look up this guy, see if I can find any unit history on him. I don't know if I really want to spearhead my advance with a towed artillery battalion. I probably should get onto the road here, shouldn't I? I'll come up to this bridge. It'll be fine. Alright, the Corps can move up in the front. I probably shouldn't do that, actually. That's really dumb. Oh. The hell? Yeah, some of these controls are just like a little finicky. Yeah, there we go. I read the tooltips, but I didn't necessarily retain the information. Okay. Finally made it back to the second screen so I can read the comments again. What is combat plus supply? Or are you just saying combat and supply? Does that mean like you can stockpile a unit? Probably should have looked at supply. Huh. I really couldn't tell you what some of this means. It's going to take a little while to get used to. The Soviets seem to have a lot of guys. Oh, I got some reinforcements this turn. Some flak and some artillery. I don't know if I want to commit too much more to defending the Don area here. I want to get another division forward, so these guys are going to continue forward. Maybe I could put this engineering unit up here to guard the Don. Although his boss is down here. Can you reassign units? Not night capable. Oh, is this a night turn? How do I tell? No, I think it says time 10 o'clock. So I think I'm okay. Alright, I just want to finish up this turn. That was stupid. I just like the undo feature. There's so many things you can't undo in War in the East that make it so fiddly sometimes. Who is this guy commanding? I don't even remember. Whatever. Alright, so this time we're going to control the whole stack and move them all onto this road. Move them up behind. Alright, so ideally now this division should be able to come up and start doing stuff. Ugh. So many traffic jams here. Oh, he needs to be a little further forward. Put him at the crossroads. That's a disgusting traffic situation up there. Alright, so this guard's rifle unit, we're going to have to blow him up. I also need to take this hex here, because that will cut off that other guy. What do we have? Infantry, perfect. Hard to get my camera to work properly. The edge panning feels a little awkward sometimes. Okay, well that's Zoc to Zoc, so we want to go over here probably and attack him from there. And this is actually an engineering battalion. We can hit him with the bombardment there. He's already bombarding. Could bombard there. It's already 6-1 odds though. Wait, did I just move him? Oops. let's get you back here. I just want to take it with the infantry unit. Alright, so those guys are all pretty much attacking into there. Maybe I'll have the 3rd Battalion hit this. Because I want to keep things moving a bit here. Because I want the infantry to handle that, but... Alright, let's get up to get this crossroads with that guy. Him up here. He can go here to cut that guy off. And oh, nice. This guy can march all the way down here. That's perfect. What's this unit? Pioneer. We'll have the Pioneer walk around him. Have this guy attack him. We need him to get him better odds though. What do I have in the area? I could just hit it with the plane to help shift it. Maybe I'll do that. I should probably use a plane on this attack too, because it's not the highest odds. Alright, so then the question is, where's my infantry? These guys are like motorized units. .4 to 1. I think that'll do it. And we'll try to occupy that. Try to occupy that. Some of these guys are going to need a break pretty soon, unfortunately, already. I really want him to get there, but I don't want him to path that way. Whatever. I guess there's good enough. Shoot that thing. Alright, now for the panzers. We want them to hit that. Everyone who can shoot. Oops. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's just dump in all our artillery. Perfect. So that gets us 3.3 to 1 high intensity. 4.3 to 1. That should be enough. I assume to win the fight. I close this now. Maybe just the escape key. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of red. Alright, that should clear it out. Maybe that will allow this guy to get through. We'll prospectively send him down there. Alright. Well, I think that's everyone then. Everyone that I wanted to move. If I get those moves done, I'll be very happy. I could move some of these guys down. I don't really need to shoot over the river there. That's not going to do anything. I could move this guy forward a bit. What is under here? Just the HQs. So we'll move them forward. Who is under this guy? He does have one of those guys down there. But otherwise, he's in a good spot. He doesn't need to move. All right, everyone else is good. Turn the turn. Maybe this is going to be the last turn. I don't know. Creating film. They really liked whatever filter they put on those pictures. I think that's like speed. All right, so it always seems to do this area first. So we're hitting this hex hard so that hopefully it gets pushed back. Launching that attack. I'm kind of getting worried about this recon battalion here now, being so far out in front, but I think maybe I would have changed that in retrospect. Oh, they pulled out of there. What a shame. How did he end up? Okay, so they're moving. These guys are running. Blowing up their front line. Another retreat. Sixth Army is going good in this area. Hold on, I just want to see. Lost a few guys there. A few guys there. I mean, this was a harder attack. Only 1.1 to 2.6. But we got those odd shifts. You know, I spent a lot of effort on that one, and all of it meant I still lost a tank, and they only lost 76 guys after all that. They lost 437 here. Holy crap. These two battalions are now like shattered. There can't be much left in them. This guy lost 155 men. Imagine losing like 10% of your entire combat strength in a single, what is this, day? That's a bad day. Bad day in the Eastern Front. That's like Western Front combat intensity. Oh, am I getting shelled? Those assholes. Shelling my poor sentries? All right. They're welcome to, actually. If they want to waste their artillery points shelling me across the river that they don't have the assets to cross, then I don't think there's a point. Ooh, no. Okay, now we're in the planning phase again. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. So we've kind of cracked open the northern half of the line, at least. We've gotten this road open. So that's going to let us just absolutely explode down into here, hopefully pocketing some stuff behind it. But more importantly, it's just going to let us bring up all of our artillery along this road, which is a main road, and will hopefully long term in the campaign, it will let us get towards some of these key crossroad objectives. Like this is not going as well in the south, but we are making progress towards our objective of these two bridgeheads here and the little squiggly crossroad thing. So they're not doing the worst. It could be worse. So 16th Panzer is kind of pulling its weight, waiting for the infantry to get up. I don't know what they're going to find when they get up, but if there's Soviets that are in this area, I don't think there's that much I could do about them. Otherwise, everyone's just got to move forward. So this is probably a very inefficient start to the campaign. That's a fun game. I would play it again. And I will. Next week. I think it's a relatively straightforward game to learn so far. I mean, the UI is not the worst. It's not the best, but there's definitely things that are very hidden in it that I wish I knew about. Oh, that would have made more sense if the NATO symbol was on. Actually would have known what those guys were. There we go. That's better. Now I know what they are. Probably looks less good, but I don't care. All right, so I mean, it was a pretty good morning session here. I do next time want to try to play a couple other games of maybe try a turn of the BCS game. So if anyone's interested in BCS and they want to be an opponent in one of these Sunday games, you're welcome to try and join. I might try to do a turn of that and then go back to the WEGO Stalingrad. Maybe I could squeeze in a turn of... The thing is, I was an hour late today, so with an extra hour, I think I could do a lot more. We did 2 turns of WEGO Stalingrad today. I could have probably squeezed a turn of War in the East as well, but I think I'm pretty happy with where we ended up here. It's a fun game. I like it a lot. Let's see. The other things that I had kind of planned out in the longer term was I was thinking about doing one about the John Tiller Stalingrad game. And I think I showed this last time, but they do have a campaign series about Stalingrad. Panzer campaign series. And I do really like Panzer campaigns so far. I have the Kharkov one, which is Stalingrad adjacent, I would say. So I could also probably justify that, but this Stalingrad 42 gold is what I was thinking of maybe doing later in the year. I'm not so sure it's that much different than the WEGO Stalingrad because it's kind of battalion scale, just like that one is. But it'd be interesting to kind of compare and contrast them, I think, because it seems like you're able to push really easily in the WEGO Stalingrad, but I think the turns are a lot longer versus in Panzer campaigns. I think each turn is an hour or 2 hours, so it's a lot more granular. And maybe it would be interesting to compare and contrast the results between those two. Otherwise, if you are in the Discord and you want to participate in the actual episode, you can come into this Stalingrad Sunday voice channel here. And I have a discussion and a topic channel. So for topics, I'll announce what I'm going to play the week before. And then for discussion, if you have any questions after the show, you could put them in here, or you can chat there during the show too. I won't be checking it. I could barely even check the YouTube comments, to be honest. So I got to keep it kind of limited. Maybe I should just set up a second monitor. That would probably be a hell of a lot easier. But if you want to chat, you just come in here, and if you come off mute, you'll be heard on the stream. So just be aware that you're on streaming live to 3 to 4 people. It's a low pressure situation. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna not announce it anymore on the IKS Discord. I think it's kind of too adjacent to, or too far from being adjacent to Kriegsspiel. Although this game is very Kriegsspiel, it feels very much like Kriegsspiel. I really like the way the WEGO system kind of works. Seems a lot like where you would, in Kriegsspiel, you would give orders to your units. You wouldn't quite know if they were going to make it there or not. And I think that's one of the great things about playing Kriegsspiel. And it's also a great thing when there's a little bit of uncertainty on the combat results. And that's a big thing with this series of games, Fall Blau, and Greg's other games. But if you take a look at these pieces here, you could probably see there's letters on them, like A. See the A6? Well, that A6 means that when you draw a chit from the cup for their strength point, they are in the A category. Let's see where my chits are. They're around somewhere. I was playing this last week. Of course, it's probably the third one I check, right? Fourth one? I don't know. Oh, it's all the way over there. I saw it. It's across the table from me. I can't reach it. But basically, the strength chits determine what these guys actually can do. You don't know ahead of time their combat power. And so it means that you can't pre-calculate the odds. And I think that's one of the cool things about the AGOD game and this WEGO Stalingrad game is you can't necessarily pre-calculate the odds of every combat. Even though I was able to do a little bit, you can't completely pre-calculate the odds because you don't know what's going to get into combat necessarily, especially if it's contingent on something else happening. You don't know if they're going to get in there. However, there's also some known quantities here, like in Fall Blau, they have some of these Soviet units, which you know their strength, and they're they're kind of weaker units, and those are meant so that you can basically have better intelligence over what the Soviets have on their front line. Because historically the Germans had good intelligence on Soviet strengths on the front line, but not good intelligence on their rear areas. So the way the game works is a lot of the frontline units will have already known strengths for the Soviets, but unknown strengths for the Germans. And then the rear area units, like the reinforcement kind of units, those are the ones that'll have like the ABC. Now there's some like tactical reserves that also have ABCs for the Soviets, but in general, like the vast majority of your units on the front line are going to already have their strength shown, which is a huge disadvantage because then the Germans can kind of, okay, that guy's only a 2 or 3. I know I can just throw a couple of units at him because basically if you have an A or B, you're guaranteed at least a 7 or an 8. So if you know the unit's a 3 and you have an A, you know that you can 1v1 him basically without having to worry about it because you get almost 3-to-1 odds. Now the CRTs in this game are also kind of wonky. Let's see if I can actually reach it. Instead of reach, my daughter says creech, my youngest daughter. So if you ever hear me say it, I can't creech it, that's where that's from. Oh yeah, again, it's on the other side of the table, so might as well be in Stalingrad. And then the last thing I wanted to show in this episode before I sign off here is what's in this box. And this is a Kriegsspiel set that I have recently finished. These are like damage markers, just beads. But then inside the box, I think it's 2 brigades each for red and blue, some artillery, and a cavalry brigade each, which is going to be very fun to play with. And they're kind of modeled after like 1862 Kriegsspiel, like von Taschewitz kind of era. So they're more square. And they have very small print of the unit number on them, which you probably can barely see on the screen. But that's all you really need as, for a Kriegsspiel piece. You kind of just need to see, okay, this is definitely a piece. What kind of unit is it? You can see that from pretty far away. But if you actually need to know the name of the unit, you got to look pretty closely. So that's the only thing I would change about it is I would just bulk up the size of that font. So if you've followed the IKS at all, you'll know that there's like 3 or 4 different kind of print and play projects in the works. And then what I was working on is like the bare bones print and play, like the cheapest possible version. Paul Lafondios and Damon both have kind of more premium versions. The most premium version is probably on the on our website, the one you can buy there. But the cheap version that I have is basically you pay for whatever your substrate's going to be. In this case, I had like an old dowel lying around, and I just cut it up using a table saw. Well, in this case, a circular saw. I don't have a table saw, but you just cut up little pieces. I wasn't particularly precise, so they're not exactly equal size, but as long as they're equal area, it doesn't matter what the volume is. Like the two-dimensional area is all that really matters, because it's a map game. So but they're pretty cool. Then the only other thing you need is paper to print the pieces on. And if you buy colored paper from a hardware store or whatever, or craft store, you can just print it through your regular printer. So if you have a printer and you have just some sort of substrate lying around, if it's cardboard, that works. I've also done a set of pieces with the back of a Doritos box, because my kids love Doritos. So we had bought this huge box of Doritos from Costco or Sam's Club or something, and I cut it up, cut a piece out of it, glued the sheet to the piece, and then with a paper cutter I cut out all the little pieces, and that worked great too. As long as you have a good paper cutter, it works. But I think the wood is probably more durable than the cardboard, especially like the crappy cardboard. But the other thing you can do is, if you have a lot of blanks, like you might if you buy certain companies' games, some companies even will sell blanks. So just like a ton of blank counters. I have a fair amount. I've like probably, I don't know, 300 or 400 blanks. And that's more than enough to do like 2 or 3 Kriegsspiel sets. So I think you could go the route of just going for these blank, so just imagine on the back of one of these, you could have a Kriegsspiel piece glued on there. And for glue, I was just using the cheapest possible glue, because again, the whole goal of my version is to be as cheap as possible. So I was using literal children's level glue, like just clear craft glue. And when it falls apart, you just glue another one on, because this is not going to last forever. It'll eventually dry out and fall off. If you wanted something better, you could buy a better quality glue, and that would definitely work out. But the last part of it, so you have your pieces built off of a substrate, hopefully a free substrate. You don't want to necessarily pay a ton of money for whatever you're gluing them to, because it's just meant to be cheap. You have your paper that costs you maybe $5, and then you have your printing ink costs, which are, obviously if you had to replace the whole bloody ink, it's like, I don't know, $60 to $100 sometimes. But what does one sheet of paper cost, or 2 sheets of paper in this case, of black ink? Not much. You could do it at a library even if you really wanted to. Probably sneak in those, and then it's like 15 cents a page, 25 cents a page. So I think if you have the substrate for free, you already have some shitty craft glue lying around, and you have the something to put them in at the end. That's the last thing you really need. You can get a full set of pieces basically for $1 and some suffering. If you want to go that route, that's how cheaply Kriegsspiel can be put together. So I think that's something that people should be aware of, that you can do it for $1 and suffering. Or you can do like a slightly more expensive one, which is printing on that laminated, the nice label paper, and then the stickiness of it is a lot easier to deal with than the manual glue. But it'll give you a lot better quality. You can print in color as well on those, and then you maybe could have nicer looking pieces. But if you just want the bare bones, you could do it for like $1, $2. It's a lot easier to acquire those materials, so it might be something that people are interested in, and I'll post the directions on basically what I did for that. Then I also put in a little felt, although I don't think it's sized properly. I think it needs to be cut down a little bit more. Oh, it's not bad. So the felt basically keeps them like in place, and then I put the markers over the top of it. And those are just to mark damage. And then if you need a map to do it, there's a lot of great maps on our website, or like the Arcanum maps. You can print those out at the library or at a Staples or something like that, FedEx, and that will run you about maybe $5 to $10 depending on the quality, maybe as much as $30 if you want it full color. But you could do a black and white map for like maybe $5, and then you have a full Kriegsspiel set and a map to play on. And that's just for one set, so you couldn't do multiple players with that. But so for another $5, you could do another full set. But it does take a lot of time, so you're investing probably 30 or 40 hours of extra time beyond what you would have to do for any of the other ways of doing it. The other ones are not free for time. There's definitely a time cost to doing it the other ways, but I think the option of just crafting up a quick set like this is definitely a cheap way to go, because it eliminates the cost of the substrate and it eliminates the majority of the cost of the other materials. Now, the real cost comes in when you start adding up the fact that you need multiple sets. So I think the minimum you can get by is like maybe $20 worth of materials total plus labor. So I don't think people are ever going to get below that for a full playable like three set Kriegsspiel set. But the other option is you just do 2, and then you could do it for like maybe $15 to $10 and have plenty of money left over for printing out a nice extra couple of maps, like a small map maybe for like a knee board kind of solution. You can even buy some dice if you're low on dice, that kind of thing. So if you have a budget of $30, I think you can get everything you need to be able to play Kriegsspiel. So anyway, that's all I have for this week. I really enjoyed playing a little WEGO Stalingrad. Next week we will play some more of WEGO Stalingrad and try to get through a turn of BCS Inflection Point. Although that might be ambitious, I hopefully will start on time, not an hour late. But I do have a bicycle to ride today now, so there's that. So till next time, see ya.